Hi, my name is Susan, and today I'm sharing with you one of my favorite meals, and it's a meal that's been requested from a lot of my friends. So we're going to be making chicken and dumplings, and I hope you'll enjoy it. It has been a comfort food of mine my whole life. So let's get started now. And if you like this video, please hit the subscribe and ring that bell, and please hit the like button. Let's get started now. Okay, I'm going to put my chicken on to boil. I usually have more chicken than this, but this is all I have. You can use whatever kind you like, but I usually like the dark meat. And to my chicken and water, I'm going to add 2 bouillon cubes. And I'm going to add plenty of salt and pepper. And you just want to boil this. Until it's good and tender. Now my chicken, good and tender. It's about to fall off the bone. So I'm going to cut it off. It's been boiling probably for about an hour and a half on a low boil. And I'm just going to let it sit. After my chicken sat for a little while, I put it on a plate and let it cool, and then took it off the bone. Now you can use as much chicken as you would like. I usually use more, but this was all I had. And from here, I'll start getting my broth ready. Now I'm going to add a little over a half a stick of butter to my broth. And I'm going to add enough milk to get it to come up to about 3/4 of the way. I think that'll be good. Now I'll cut my heat on and let it get hot. You want it to come to a low boil. And now I'm going to get ready and make my dumplings while I wait for this to get up to temperature. Okay, I'll need 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Need 2 teaspoons of salt, and I always use kosher salt, and I do heat this salt up because you want those noodles, the dumplings, to have salt. And I just mix this around, get the salt incorporated, and then I add 1 cup of shortening. And you want to cut that in. The dumplings, these are a very easy recipe, but you don't want to use too much shortening, because when I first started making these, I used too much shortening, and you could slice my chicken and dumplings like a cake. They get too tender and they just kind of dissolve in the broth. But over the years, this is the recipe I've kind of gone by. Dumplings is another food that's it's my main comfort food. Anytime I was sick, my mom would make dumplings. And this was another food that my grandmother would bring to my cousin Mike and me. So it's just always been a comfort and one of my favorites. All right. And now I'm going to add enough water to get my dough. So I'm just going to, I don't have an amount, you just want it to where your dough will come together. So I just do a little bit at a time until I get there. So I just pour a little bit and just start mixing it with a fork. You don't want to get it too wet, but you don't want it too dry. I push like this until I get everything to where it's incorporated. And I can see I still have a little ways to go. So I just try to drizzle it in the dry spots. I'd be tempted to add more water, but I can see it's still wet and the flour is starting to kind of attach itself to the rest of the dough. So work with it for a little bit to see. I don't think it's going to need any more. If it does, it won't be much. Maybe just a tad. That should do it. Now it's getting every bit of those loose crumbs at the bottom. Put the lid on my broth so it'll come up to temperature quicker, but you want to be keep an eye on it because it'll come up fast with a lid on it and boil over. All right. Now you want to take some of that flour and dust your board. Just take a good handful at a time and just kind of squeeze it and knead it and work it so it'll all stick together. Then I'll just make sure my hands and my rolling pin is floured. I usually just take a spatula, a knife, whatever you have, and I just start making strips. And my mom, she made the best dumplings. She would lay her whole dough down like this, and I used to do that, but I started making them for like church gatherings and stuff. It's like you dip and all your dumplings would come. So I got to where I just started taking them and I would just break them and drop them into my broth. So that way you've got more of your bite-sized pieces and everybody could get some. So now I gotta wait for my, and some people cut them, but to me that takes too much time picking them up one by one. So let me wait on my broth. Okay, my broth is just about boiling. You can see the surface just barely moving. Just kind of stir it. And before you start adding your dumplings, you want to give it a little bit more salt and pepper. It's never peppered enough for my husband and my oldest son. And you can add more afterwards if you need it, but this just kind of helps it to cook in. And you want a little bit more salt because it'll need more than you think, but it's better to have too little than too much. Alright, see it's starting to boil. And now I'll just start dropping my ones in. And I just take them and I just break them about every couple of inches, about an inch or inch and a half. And you can do yours long, completely long if that's what you want. This just made it easier to eat. And now it's just starting to bubble away. And I'll head on to my next bit of dough. Just repeat, smush it. too thick because you want the dumplings to get done. Just cut them into strips. And just kind of lay them over. I always look for where it's boiling the hardest to try to lay it in there. And my mom said to never stir it, but I have to stir it. But you want to be very gentle so that they don't break up. I just gently move them around. Bits of dough. Last bit of dough. It's starting to really boil now. When it does that, just cut it down a little bit. It won't take the dumplings long to cook. So I get the dumplings in, give it a good stir, gently. Add my chicken in, salt and pepper, some more. And then I just cut it off and let it set for a few minutes, and then it's ready to eat. Smells good. And I'll add my chicken. A little bit more salt and pepper, and I'll taste it, but I can already tell it doesn't have enough pepper. If you can't see it, it's not enough. Just cut it off, put your lid on, and let it sit for a few minutes. And we'll be back. All right. Here it is. Looks good. My official taste tester hasn't gotten off from work yet, so I'll give it a try. I just want to make sure that the dumplings and everything's salted enough. Not bad, but it can use some more salt. And it never hurts to put a little bit more pepper in there. That's good. That's perfect. Well, I hope you enjoyed the recipe, and I hope you'll give it a try. And please don't forget to hit those buttons and bells. Until next time, bye.